Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? I actually should welcome you to the Wolf Pit Candy Kitchen. Even though there's not going to be any candy cooking today, and I rarely eat candy, except for once in a while I do enjoy a Fifth Avenue bar or a Payday bar, I do believe this will be the first candy review I've ever done on the channel, and more than likely, the last. That is, unless you, the people, have a sweet tooth and want more candy videos. My daughter and I were in the store Five Below the other day, and my understanding of the title of the store, Five Below, that everything in the store is $5 or below. Kind of like the whole concept of the Dollar Tree, everything is $1 or below. Well, the $1.25 tree now. Well, come to find out, they do have a lot of stuff that's $5 or below, but they also had quite a bit of stuff that was over $5. So the name of the store is very misleading, but I did find what appears to be an old explanation as to the price changes at Five Below. But this isn't a bashing video about Five Below. I'm just telling you where we got the candy from. And yes, it was under $5. I have several different packs of weird candy we're going to go over today. So the first pack of candy we're trying is made by a company called Raindrops, and it's a gummy candy small sushi bento box. Unfortunately, you, the people, already know that I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of these words. And I apologize in advance to my Japanese viewers. And me, the person, doesn't mind and encourages you, the people, to laugh at me each time I unintentionally mispronounce a word. As long as you take a drink after each time I do and hit that like button for my effort. And like I said, this was either $5 or below. I don't recall the exact price. But if you're unfortunate and you don't have a Five Below near you, you can go onto Amazon and get this for $11.99. Raindrops wants you to enjoy the adventure and what appears to be all their mock Asian food, candy. I get it, little kids will think this is neat. I'm not really sure what is what, but here's the list of everything included. And you know, if you're a parent and you buy this for your kid and you let them, they're going to eat the whole box. And more than likely, 5 seconds later, ask for another one, ask what's for lunch, or ask if you can go get ice cream. So I was going to go over the nutrition facts, but I don't understand how to explain them to you, the people. So, hopefully someone can help me. The front of the package says 3 ounces, which is 85 grams, but then when you get to the nutrition facts, it says 4, 5 servings per container. So does that mean 4.5 servings per container, or 4 to 5 servings per container? And then it says the serving size is 30 grams. So I'm either having a brain fart, and I'm not nearly as smart as I thought I was, or something's just wrong. Now let's get into our small bento batch of gummy sushi. So the piece that looked most intriguing to me was the Inura, which is the candy name. The real name is the Akira Sushi, which would be salmon roe. When you pop it in your mouth and you bite down, the outsides does simulate the popping that you would get from the salmon roe when you bit into it. It was a nice texture to go with a sweet orange gummy. I could definitely see the little kiddos enjoying that, pretending it's real sushi. Next, according to the picture, we're trying a California roll. Here's what a real, typical California roll looks like. Your fish, vegetables, and whatnot wrapped around nori, which is seaweed, and then wrapped around sushi rice. Probably one of the more popular American sushis. And they're especially good for people who don't like real sushi because they can be stuffed with imitation crab, avocado, and cream cheese. Now I love all types of sushi, and when I do eat sushi, half the time I don't have any idea what I'm eating, I just like it. So I'm no sushi aficionado. So if I'm saying something wrong, please feel free to correct me. And this is certainly not a Sushi 101, so take what I say with a grain of rice. See what I did there? I'll be here all week, people. I know there's a sushi eating scooter out there waiting to pounce. Bring it on, brother. Now back to the candy California roll. And this appears to be a different flavor than what's in the diagram. And this one tasted like a piece of sour apple wrapped around a marshmallow. It's actually pretty good. And I like what they did with the difference in textures. You get a little crunchiness on the sugar, or what I'm going to call the fruit tape, along with the soft fluffiness from the marshmallow. So it's not one big blob of just gummy candy in your mouth. As corny as this whole tray is, they actually put some thought behind it. Next we're trying the sour apple and strawberry uramaki roll. I hope I don't mess this up, but an uramaki roll was actually invented in America, and it's basically a California roll, but nori, aka seaweed, was foreign in America, so they wrapped the fish, the vegetables, and whatnot in the seaweed, aka nori, and then wrapped it in the sushi rice to hide the nori. I need for you, the people, to forgive me. I'm on my knees. Please, from what I just explained and read on Google, they're both the same damn thing. I always thought a California roll had the seaweed on the outside. I'm so freaking confused right now, it's not even funny. I was gonna say something, but you already look pretty stupid right now. Scooter, unfortunately, I can't disagree with that. It's a good thing we're talking about candy sushi and not real sushi. So on with the candy sushi. So here's the candy uramaki roll, which just like the other pieces so far, was delicious. The sour apple and strawberry flavors were delicious, and the difference in textures is what's really standing out to me so far. The fluffiness from the marshmallow, the chewy from the gummy, and the crunchy from the sugar, it's just a great contrast of textures. There was some actual thought put behind this candy. Next we're trying the berry mix, and then the cola koi kuchi, which would be soy sauce. Between the berry mix koi kuchi and the cola koi kuchi, the berry was my favorite. I'm not really sure why they did the one koi kuchi that looked like noodles, but either way, it was still good. And although they just had the gummy texture, they were two different gummy textures due to the shapes. So once again, pretty different. Now let's try the orange gummy and the orange marshmallow nigiri. Nigiri, which is one of my favorite types of sushi, is simply a slice of raw fish over a ball of rice. Now back to the candy nigiri, and besides me loving anything and all things orange, including Oompa Loompas, this was delicious. And once again, besides the delicious flavors, the contrasting textures is what's really made these. And finally, I almost forgot to try the sour strawberry California roll. And just like all the previous candies, it was great. Flavor was good, and the contrasting textures were good. All of the gummy sushi in the bento box was delicious, but my favorite piece was the inura, so I had to grab the last piece. Initially, I felt very weird doing a candy review, but to me this isn't really just candy. There was quite a bit of thought and creativity put behind making these boxes, which if you think about it, can be a sweet learning experience for kids, with the different flavors and especially different textures. You throw something sweet into a kid's mouth, and 9.5 times out of 10, they're gonna like it. That ratio is gonna go down once you start throwing different textures into a kid's mouth. But if they like what they taste, they don't mind the different textures. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this teaches kids that just because something looks weird or different from what they're used to eating, doesn't mean it's gonna taste bad. This gummy bento box might make them want to try real sushi, which they might have never thought about trying. So I'm going to call this an educational sweet treat. I enjoyed reviewing this, and I think kids will enjoy eating it and learning different textures, which is why I'm going to give it a score of 9 out of 10. Now, let's go to the opposite end of the candy spectrum, of what I'm just simply going to call garbage. And I'm not really sure if I mean that in a bad way or not, but the explanation for my terminology of calling it garbage is besides this first one, the gummy Lunchables, there was absolutely no thought or creativity in the rest of the candies you're getting ready to see. And the only thing they did with the Lunchable was make it look like a pepperoni pizza. There was no difference in textures or flavors. You, the people's time is important, and so is mine. So I'm going to speed up through these videos just to show you that I did try them, but honestly, they're not really worth the time of reviewing. At the end of the day, all the candies in today's video are gimmicky. But I honestly think that kids and adults who aren't familiar with sushi could actually learn something by eating the gummy sushi. This piece of red gummy bacon tasted just like the pepperoni pizza Lunchable. And to no surprise, these Oscar Mayer gummy hot dogs tasted just like the gummy Lunchable pepperoni pizza and the Oscar Mayer red gummy bacon. And the orange Kraft macaroni and cheese gummies pretty much tasted like nothing, just like the Kraft macaroni and cheese. And Raindrops did pop in again with their creativity, with their gummy taco, and there were some difference in textures, it just wasn't up to par with the sushi. If you want to spend $5 and get your kids a sweet educational treat that'll be fun for you and them, you can't really go wrong with a small gummy bento box. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.